Okay, so on a lighter note, oh, this lighting is just too much. It's not really my favorite, is it? Oh, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my boneless roast chicken dinner idea. So that way, if I talk about it here, and anybody tries to steal it, well, you know where it came from. So, here is my plan. Okay, I love roast chicken dinner. It's like one of my favorite things to eat. And everybody tries to do it on the bone. And they're like, oh, the bones impart such flavor and yada 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 yada. I think it's all bullshit. Okay, fuck the bones. Okay, I don't think you're gonna notice. Okay, so here's my idea, and I don't like eating around the bones. And plus, when you do roast chicken, okay, sure, if you make roast chicken dinner by yourself in your apartment and you're the one pulling the chicken out of the oven, it's gonna be crispy for like 2 minutes on your cutting board, but by the time it gets to the table, I don't think it's gonna be crispy. And I've seen different chefs have their roast chicken on YouTube, and it looks great. It looks nice, but I wonder, is it crispy? So here is my idea. Okay, my idea would be to take a ring mold, not a round ring mold. I'd rather it be a square or a rectangle, maybe a little tall, like a good inch, I'd say, maybe a little more, I'm not sure, okay? I would take this ring mold, I would line it with chicken skin, and or caul fat if necessary. I'm not sure which would go first. I'm not sure if both would be needed, but I would line it at least with chicken skin, maybe with caul fat if necessary, like extra, and really make it so the corners are tight, like, you know what I mean, soigné. Then what I would do is I would take the best chicken I could possibly get, maybe a breast chicken, I don't know, at least an organic chicken, or maybe an older world type bird, older, you know what I mean? I'm not sure yet, the chicken. But I would pull all the meat off the chicken, and then I would make a farce, which is just like a fancy French word for like basically like kind of like a chicken mousse, kind of like a puree, whatever. I don't know. The French chefs out there, the true French chefs out there, know better than what they know what I'm saying. So I would take a little bit of the dark meat and make a farce in a RoboCoupe with probably like a little bit of heavy cream, maybe a little bit of cognac, a little bit of black truffle, a little bit of maybe mushroom, I'm not sure, something like that, and just put it in a piping bag, put it aside. Get it nice and cold, firm. Then I would take all the other dark meat and the white meat and pull it off the chicken and keep it in as large possible pieces as possible and put it in a bowl. And then in that bowl, I would add some white pepper and just a little bit of perfectly chopped Fiends herb mixed. If you don't know what that is, it's parsley, tarragon, chervil, and chives. Really nice. Or just a little bit in there. And then a little bit of lemon zest, just a little bit. You basically want to keep this like a dry marinade. You don't want this to be wet, I don't think. Then I would take my mold that's been lined with chicken skin and caul fat, and I would press a layer of the meat in. And I would keep the dark meat kind of off to one side and the white meat being low. So they think like 25% dark meat and 75% white meat, so that later on you can kind of like cut the dark meat part off for that person if they want that, or just it's not just mixed together all the time. So you put a layer down in big pieces, as big, you don't want to cut up the chicken into chunks, just keep it in the biggest pieces you possibly can. And then put a layer down, and then take your piping bag of your farce, and you just want to put those into the little crevices that where the air pockets may reside once you put on the next layer. So just little pockets, next layer, until it's all in there. And then you want to wrap it up in the folds of the chicken skin and the caul fat, and then keep it in. It's still in the ring mold now. It's still in the rectangle or whatever ring mold, and it's like what's the scientific word? Kind of A meniscus almost is on the top of chicken. It's like outside of the mold. Then what you want to do is take a block that is basically the same size as we need to weigh this now overnight and press it. Now, I guess you could just put a sheet pan over it and press it with number 10 cans, but we really want to make sure it's nice and compacted so you get nice tight corners. So I think you may want to take like a block that is a little bit smaller than the ring mold and place it in the ring and then put the sheet pan on top so it kind of acts like a spring. Either way, do that, press them overnight, 12 hours, whatever, come in the next morning, take them out. They should be like a nice cold puck at this point. Now, at this point, I'm not exactly sure the next step because I haven't experimented. This is all in my head. This is all theory at this point. What I think one should do next is probably poke some pinholes in it with like a sewing needle and then cryovac it in like a sous vide cryovac, but still in the ring mold. Don't take the metal ring mold off because that's keeping its shape. So cryovac it and then pop it into the sous vide set at 163.5. Okay? Once it reaches 163.5, take them out and shock them in the coldest ice water you can to bring them back down as fast as possible, and then store them in the walk-in, still in the cryovac. So now there's like this elegant cryovac chicken rectangle puck brick thing wrapped in chicken skin and caul fat. That's 163, almost fully, it's pretty much fully cooked. Cold in the walk-in. So now we have the day of service. So before service starts, you put 1 or 2 or 3 of them back in the sous vide water on the station, set to 163.5, and bring them back up to temperature. I don't know if this is all like within the guidelines of the FDA and with all these temperatures, so they may need to be modified to be in guys, in line with the law. But you know what I'm saying. So then when there's an order, when there's a fire for roast chicken, all you have to do is take the chicken out of the bag, okay, pat it dry as possible, and then blast it in a cast iron pan until it's crispy on all sides. And then what I would do is I would also kick it into like a 550 degree oven and master baste it, poêlée with the brown butter, make it all fancy with the thyme sprig, whatever the fuck. Do all that just until it's all super crispy on all sides. And then, pat it on a paper towel and set it off to rest a little bit. And then while it's resting, you do the rest of your plate, which is your 2-to-1 Joel Robuchon palm puree that's put through a tammy that everybody loves. That's already done. So you swipe that on the plate. And I think it will be, some nice garnishes would be some perfectly glazed and peeled Thumbelina carrots, some non-frozen, like caramelized, non-previously frozen caramelized pearl onions, and maybe just some really beautiful fresh pea. And then a chicken wing jus, which would be a very, very low yield, and it would be a bitch to make. I'm talking like just get a rondo, the biggest possible, take chicken wings, sear them off in like brown butter and olive oil, one at a time, don't overcrowd the pan, and then literally put in like a pint of chicken stock, a pint of Sancerre, let it just scrape up all the fond, a little bit of herbs, yada yada, and then take the whole pot, dump it through a strainer, okay? Or no, just dump it out. Fuck all, keep all the bits in there for later. Just dump it out, and then clean the pot. So you really want to have 3 clean rondos. So you can send one off to the dish while you're going to the next one. Clean the pot, everything, every batch, clean the entire pot, and then do it again. Yeah, it'd be a bitch. But we're looking for a super concentrated pan jus. We wanted to taste like you cook this chicken in a pan, jus. And obviously no thickener or anything like that. And I think it could work. So, and what you could do just to be funny is in the end, like this brick, you could stick a bone in this brick. So you slice it in half, and it'll look like there's a bone in this chicken, but really you could just pull the bone out and boneless roast chicken dinner. Yeah, I think it'd be good. So if you want to steal my idea, I guess you can steal it, but you know what you heard.